Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Y Factor on 87.6 FM. Salam listeners, today is the 5th of April 2012 and you're listening to the Y Factor on 87.6 FM. Unfortunately, this week the boys have abandoned me. It is only Rashwani with you this afternoon. Well, just for now, the interviews all have, all the rest of the characters like Mohamed, Taha and Jamal, but just for now, it's only me. I know you are all pining to listen to my voice. You have all been dreading the fact that other people will join the show and it's not just me, but that's okay, listeners. For now, you can enjoy the beautiful raspings of my voice. It's been a massive week between now and last week's episode. We've had a couple of events that have gone past. A big one involving Syria, Lyrics for Freedom, organised by the MSA New South Wales. That has gone very well. We discussed that in depth with the brother of one of the stars of the show, Mohsen Saleh, brother to Kamal Saleh, one of the artists that performed on the night. Furthermore, Mohamed Taha goes out into the wild and interviews Shaykh Naeem Abdul Wali on all the important issues that affect you and the community. So it's a massive show. We got a lot to cover and we hope that you enjoy it. But for now, we'll just go straight into the news headlines. And locally, there has been an increase in interest over the abduction of the young toddler, Rahma Danawi, with the reward for any information on her captor or whatever happened to her increased to $250,000. The story goes that 7 years ago, she was sleeping in her bed with her brother and sister, like any normal toddler would, and her father checked on her at 2 a.m. Found her normal sleeping, only to find at 8 a.m. she was gone and there was a rip in the fly screen above her head. Now, there has been no clues as to what exactly happened. Police have canvassed many different ideas and many different scenarios as to how the young toddler could have been taken away, where she could have been taken, what could have happened to her, but no clues, no solid evidence has emerged. Nobody knows exactly what's happened to him. So the Detective Superintendent Michael Will recently called up the studio and said that the reward has increased to $250,000. They just want answers. They're stepping up their search for the young toddler, who by now would probably be a young kid. She probably would have gone to school by now. It's a horrifying case. The horrifying scenarios that have been brought up. Nobody knows exactly what happened to her. So at the end of the day, it could be anything. I hope nobody has to go through this, but the parents are still mortified and desperate for any information. So if anyone does have any information on the case, please contact the police. In other news, as the Easter weekend looms large over us, traffic chaos has begun to emerge all across Sydney, with trucks and cars all getting into many heavy accidents. Some unfortunate news that has just popped up on the news, which involves a car and a truck which collided on the Southern Cross Drive between Trevelyan Avenue and Gardeners Road on East Lakes about 9:35 a.m. today, on Thursday. So already we're having accidents coming through, and everybody knows that the long weekend is always a magnet for bad accidents and horrifying scenarios. We hope that everybody drives safely as they try and get to their destinations over the long weekend. It will be packed out tonight, as tomorrow is a public holiday, so watch out on the roads. Make sure that you're checking all your mirrors, etc., as you all should know. But just keep a lookout for the heavy traffic leaving Sydney, because everybody knows, everybody enjoys going out to see their families and whatnot across states and whatever, and people are traveling a lot, especially today. They're traveling long distances. There will be tired drivers, there will be tired eyes and tired minds. It's times like these where it's imperative that everybody keeps 100% careful, make sure that they're driving safely so that nothing bad can happen. Moving on to international news. The accused mastermind of the 9/11, actually he's not accused, he's actually self-proclaimed architect of the September 11, 2001 attacks, Shaykh Khalid Mohamed, a Kuwaiti who attended university in the United States, is set to face court. The Pentagon announced charges on Wednesday against Mohamed and 4 other alleged 9/11 plotters, clearing the way for a high-profile trial long delayed by debate in the United States over whether they should be prosecuted in a civilian or military court. Finally, Islamic rulers across the world have ruled out military intervention in Syria, saying that it would only be detrimental to the cause. The Secretary General of the 57-nation Organization of Islamic Cooperation said he remained involved in quiet diplomacy activities with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad over this power struggle that has cost more than 5,000 lives over the last 11 months. The violence has led to the Middle Eastern countries' most severe international isolation in more than 4 decades of Assad family rule. And I quote, "What we really need to do is exclude military intervention from our side," he said to the National Press Club of Australia during a visit to Canberra as a guest of the Australian government. So basically what he's saying is that the intervention in Syria is not the way to go. Now, I'm not 100% sure if people can say that. I mean, I've heard many different opinions on the matter of Syria and the solution to the problems within Syria, including whether foreign intervention is needed, arming the rebels, or just finding like a peace agreement. Now, personally, I think that Bashar has to go. He needs to go. He is a festering piece of... there are many words to be said about him, but they can't be said on a radio. But he is someone that needs to go. He's been butchering his own people for too long. He has been destroying Islamic relations in his country and in other countries for too long. He has been allowing violence and destruction to grow in his community and in other communities for too long. He and his family need to be removed from the rulership of Syria, and there needs to be a fair and just government come in for not only for the peace of Syria, but for the future of the Middle East. Their presence is nothing more than a detrimental one to any development in the Middle East, whether it be in Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, Jordan, Saudi, everywhere would benefit from their removal. But as I said, the solution is something of a mixed bag. Not many people would... Well, there isn't going to be military intervention by NATO, that's for sure, because of Russia and China's stance on the matter. However, arming the rebels would be another solution that a lot of people have looked at. I mean, just giving them money, weapons, medicine, things like that, just to be able to face up to the unerring destruction that Bashar has rained down upon them. But this is something of a very mixed bag, as the Secretary has pointed out, that this is something that might be able to be stopped just by some good diplomacy, some good politics. It would end the bloodshed, that's for sure. As he said, 5,000 lives have been lost. So this is a problem that needs a genuine solution. This is something that needs to be solved as soon as possible, or else people are going to continue to lose their lives. This is something that needs to be worked on by not just us in the local community, as we tried with the recent event, Lyrics for Freedom, but this is something that international rulers need to get on top of, because people are dying. People are dying, and there is massive problems, not just caused by Syria's violence, but caused by the lack of involvement, lack of movement, lack of anything happening at all in terms of saving the people in Homs or in Syria from this destruction. Something needs to be done, and it needs to be done as soon as possible. If it means military intervention, some people might say, so be it. And with that, I wrap up the news, and I might just have a little rant since I'm here by myself, and I might get into something that has crossed my mind. But before I do, I'd just like to remind everybody that this Y Factor episode today has been brought to you by Flame Steakhouse in Campsie and now in Bankstown. Recently opened there over the past week. It is a fantastic place to go for steaks, pizzas, pastas, whatever's on your mind. It is beautiful. The new Bankstown place has opened and is worth a look. Coming up is an interview with big-time community commentator, let's call him that, and brother to superstar Saleh, Mohsen Saleh, as well as an interview with a world-renowned sheikh. You're on the Y Factor on 87.6 FM. So welcome everyone here. We're in the studio with a massive community superstar, someone who I think everybody knows but doesn't really know. He's like an enigma, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a straight shooter. He's a legacy. You know, he's a myth, but we found him.
A legacy. That's, yeah. Oh, he talks as well. Point blank. Please welcome to the studio, Mohsen Saleh. Yay! Woo!
How's everyone?
Alright, so Mohsen, man, you are the brother of the legendary poet, the big man, Mr. 1 Million himself, Saleh.
Yeah, that's him.
Tell us what it's like to be the brother of a megastar.
Well, first of all, He's my brother. Okay, so I'm not his.
Hey, he's my friend. All right, he's my friend.
Through it all.
Yeah.
He's pretty famous, but we're managing. He deals with it very well.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Kamal is, it's Kamal Saleh who did the
How can someone not know who Kamal Saleh is?
Some people live under a rock, man. They live on YouTube and sort of know who he is.
Yeah, he's big. He's all around the world.
But you know what, before I came here, he told me one thing. I go, listen, I'm going to go on the Y Factor, speak with Mohamed and Rashwani. He goes, listen, just don't say I'm hectic, but I'm going to say he's hectic.
Oh, Kamal Saleh. And Kamal featured an event on Tuesday which raised a whopping $26,000, mashallah. $1,000 from a student majority audience, which is unbelievable.
Yeah. All right, so tell us more about the event. Like, what was it about? What was the basis of it?
Okay, so the event was the first event organised by MSA New South Wales. Basically, it's a combination of MSA campuses right throughout Sydney. Comprises of UTSMS, Mumsa, Parramatta, CMS, UWS Campbelltown, UWS Penrith, Parramatta, Bankstown and Sydney Uni are not part of it. That's their own prerogative. But alhamdulillah, like we got the majority, which is 5 campuses. A lot of their members were present on the night, and they were the organising committee pretty much. It was basically a fundraiser for Syria, but with a twist. It's not the stock standard fundraising events are a dinner, there's an auction, give us your money, blah blah blah. But we had Buna Mohamed all the way from Canada,
all the way from overseas,
internationally acclaimed spoken artist.
Stepping it up. Listen, right, this is pre-recorded radio. We have to set up a certain face on this radio.
We have to act like this.
He was there. There was another photographer who looks exactly like Rishwani.
As much as it looks like it. Anyways,
so there was Buna Mohamed, who was the international talent. There was Kamal Saleh, who was the local talent, the up and coming, the
Mr. 1 million,
1 million YouTube sensation, all the way from Punchbowl, California.
You've said that joke 50 times to me.
You know why?
Never laughed.
Everyone keeps asking him what's with the American accent. So I just say he's from Punchbowl,
Actually, you know what? We have his brother right here. Tell us what's up with the American accent.
No.
Wait.
Motion.
You know what it is? Honestly, first let me get back to that Punchbowl, California. The MC on the night. He came up to me. He goes, "Listen, would you bother get a little bit? His nerves. Would he get worried if I dropped a joke and go, what's that joke? I go, Punchbowl, California. I go, that's not even a joke. So yeah, I personally didn't even find it.
Listen. It's Mr. Taha right here.
I'm like, where do you want me to laugh? Like
Mr. Taha, I can imagine Mr. Taha right here on the way there thinking to himself, what would be a funny joke?
Punchbowl, California.
Yeah. Look, he's blushing now. I think we've hit a nerve.
You've got a funny laugh for Shwani.
Sheikh Mustafa Majzoub mentioned your laugh to me the other day when I was having dinner with him.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he mentioned that when I seen him.
Laughs,
he said I should make a Facebook page of my laugh. He thinks I sound like a...
I'll like it.
Yeah, you'd get like 5,000 likes from people that don't even know.
Anyway, so Buna Mohamed, Kamal Saleh, and the very charismatic Sheikh Wissam Chikawi, who I think doesn't not get enough of a voice in our community.
I heard there was a
100%.
Mashallah, he's very charismatic. He hit the nail on the head. He's a straight shooter. He hit taboo topics. He mentioned porn on the night. To the extent like it was smashing it. Relax. He's not advocating pornography, Rashwani.
I wasn't. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
On the night about going, he's very passionate. And
you think the journalist would think before he speaks?
Just guys, ignore that last comment. That was that was off the record among the boys. So I can't be held to account for that.
You guys don't know him, we do.
But the Sheikh, mashallah, was awesome. And then there was a fundraising part of the night where the Sheikh and Buna Mohamed got on stage and said, give us your money in a really awesome fashion. And all up, they raised $26,000.
Wow.
The comments on the Facebook page were off the hook. People were saying it's full of barakah, best event I've ever been to. Wow. Mashallah,
you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of the Y Factor launch. Now look, we're going to be biased, but we have someone who can be unbiased. Mohsen, you were at both events, yeah?
Nah, be dead set.
Be dead set. You're a straight shooter.
Hold on.
About the Y Factor.
Both events serve different purposes. One's raising money for Syria, which is more sentimental. Our brothers and sisters are dying. Another one's an event for the launch of our program.
I want him to give us a comparison in terms of organisation, right?
Yeah.
Which event was better?
The Syrian event, 100%. But then again, the Y Factor event was good. I had no problems with it. I didn't care if people are going to come to you, if people are coming to you guys and saying, oh, you know what, this Y Factor thing didn't live up to standards or this and that. I expected better. And then they need to shut their mouths because I enjoyed it. Honestly, that whole panel thing, since when have we experienced something like that?
That's true. It's something new.
So yeah, like I wouldn't say one was organised better than the other. They both serve different purposes, as Mohamed was saying. and I enjoyed them both.
I think the Y Factor
Rishwani, load your questions better. They're complete, like they serve different
What kind of
purposes.
journalism is this?
I don't know, man.
Listen,
It's
alright.
Lakemba journalism.
Listen,
Okay,
oh,
can't expect
I'm
anything
not
less.
even from the Kimba.
Well, you're from around the corner.
Last time
Okay.
let's not talk about this again.
I know we don't want to get into the tribalism
okay.
here.
Anyways, okay, fair
Auburn
enough.
for
So
life.
it was a well-organized event. It was. Can we not do this?
Okay.
Yeah. No.
No, off the comment, off the.
No, we were having a little. What's another word for the B session? You know what I mean? Talking a little bit of crap this morning.
I don't know what you're talking
Over
about,
our
bro.
coffees.
You're with someone
We
else.
say feces on the
We were
show,
in the
Motion.
Kimba.
We don't say crap. We say
Yeah,
feces.
I don't usually come, to Lakemba in the mornings, but I came to come here to get coffee, and there was not one place to park.
Bro, you gotta know the ways.
I called him up. I go, I'm on the street. I'm just parking. I want to go get some coffee. I'm driving for 15 minutes. I can't even find one place to park. This is Lakemba. It's like at 9 o'clock. People need to get jobs, man. People need to get jobs.
That's why you double park, my son.
Usually I find parking straight away, but I don't know.
Yeah. Welcome to Lakemba. It's stepping up, you know.
Absolutely. Look, let's talk the event itself.
Let's go back to
topic,
the
yeah.
event.
I want to hear from your perspective, Rishwani. Then we'll go to Motion. What do you think of the event? I mean, you're the photographer on the night. Everyone knew Rishwani floating around like a butterfly.
I was there.
You were there, right?
I was there. I remember. Well, to be honest, it was really well organized. Like it was surprisingly
loved it.
well organized.
I loved it.
Because I know in organizing events how chaotic it can be from our own experience, how bad it can get. But to be honest, from behind the scenes, it was really good. It was there were people stressing out, but not that much. You know, I would have thought more people stressing out. Everybody got there in time. It started basically on time compared to how we started. It flowed really well. You know, we went from one person to the next, and we went to pray, then we came back, and then we went to Kamal, and the videos
just
played
worked
well. It worked really well. You know, there wasn't a moment. My brother was in there. My brother was in the audience, and he was like, there wasn't a moment when I got bored until it started to slow down a bit towards the auction, and people started leaving.
Yeah, when
it dragged
I
on a
loved
bit,
it. I loved every single part, but then it started getting a bit ridiculous. You know, people would start throwing everything. to auction off.
That was a bit weird.
I was
People
going to put
started,
my
like,
phone because people started putting their stuff in and then getting it back. I'm like, okay, here, take
Yeah,
my
we
phone.
had-
And Mohsen, you really wanted to put your number on auction,
Yeah.
didn't you? Let's be honest, man. Let's be honest.
We had a request. We had a request at one point. They were like, "Hey, does Bruno come with one of the prizes? Can we get Bruno with it? Can we get Hisham with it?" So
I think that was over Kabara. Remember Chester Abs?
Mr. Kabara.
Yeah,
Are we
so sisters, don't think it was one of you girls. You're probably thinking that in your heads, but the boys were actually saying it as well. Oh, can I get Buna as well? He's so like beautiful and dark. And
Kabara is on a bit of a.
You know,
Let's not go there.
Maybe for future events, we'll think about auctioning, a date or
a date with
Mohamed
Chester
Salah.
Abs.
a halal date. You get to meet the
halal
family.
date,
A free chat with Mohsen Saleh. If you want some straight shooting, there we go.
He'll probably sit them down and then they'll come out crying. Like, why did I come to this?
Always. That's
so
what always
mean.
happens. I'm just like, sorry.
Or it'd be like the white chicks. Remember what? No.
Let's not. Yeah, white chicks very inappropriate, bro. We're on the Y factor, okay?
You know, is that something
Not the
about
M
Y factor? But do we stick to topic at all? How many times have we
Never.
back and forth?
And yet we're still not fired, so we will
wouldn't know
continue
that
to go on.
'cause I don't really
We will
listen.
continue
You
to go on
jinxed it, we're gonna
tangents until the day we get off air.
You jinxed it. Now we're gonna walk out and they're like, boys, we have to sit down now.
The board has spoken. Now,
You are the weakest link.
in all
Goodbye.
honesty, though, they're doing a good job. Wallah. They're very supportive of us, and I respect that. Not many oldies, like the board of the Voice of Islam.
Of course.
Not many oldies, and it sounds like irrespective of them, but we're young, we call them oldies, we're Gen Y. They're not
Can we
really
go back on
supportive of
topic?
Gen Y. Hold on, just to get that disclaimer out there, we love the board, etc., etc.
Yes.
Anyway, the event itself.
Okay.
Mohsen, what do you think of it, bro?
Back-
We heard about Rishwani.
Yeah, go, Mohsen.
Okay, so now
Now serious,
my opinion
like no
obviously
comparison,
seems
just straight.
valuable.
Tell us, what did you think?
What did I think? Well, I went in there. I wasn't doing any volunteering, but I saw all the people that were helping out, and I reckon it was really, really well organized. And who organised the event? Was it
It was MSA New South Wales, so all the
New South
MSAs
Wales, but-
together.
So
who was, for example, Suha?
yeah,
Suha, she had a big part with it.
absolutely. Sister Suha and Hisham as
I
well.
could not believe it. You know that.
I think the main ones were Suha, Hisham, and Man.
I'm not sure.
Man, Shahir,
I saw
Shahir
Hisham and
as
stuff.
Hannah,
like that.
Ogashinki, all
Yeah.
of them, yeah.
Yeah.
But I really loved how it was organised, and I heard, I think to be personally honest, like seeing what Suha's doing at UTS, and now for her to pull off something like this at Syria. Of course, there were other people there, but I want to focus on her. She's like a prime example of when you can give a woman responsibility or authority, and she'll nail it perfectly. So let anybody, if anyone says anything to you about, oh, a woman can't be a leader, a woman can't, because I hear it all the time. Even on my MSA, people are always saying, oh, why is there a woman a leader? Why is there a woman a leader? Well, look, she's got the position and she's doing well. Look, how much did you raise? 30 grand? Something like that?
25k.
25k, and how good did that go, bro?
Sure,
Honestly, I had people with me, I had some of my friends with me that I've never seen a tear drop out of their eye. You know what I mean? I thought these people don't even have a heart, to be honest. But they were like sucked into it. You
Must
know
be from
what I
Punch
mean?
Bowl, but yeah.
Trying to get started about.
La 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 la.
Get started about.
Every single, you know what my
Please
rant is
let's
gonna
not
be?
go down
You know
this
what my
road.
rant is gonna be? It's gonna be about you.
Let's
You
just
kill
do it.
my
You know
life.
what? One day we'll come here, me and you, and we'll just have a.
You would just have a Mohamed Taha chat session.
Basically, Mohamed Taha exposed.
You know what?
Auburn v Bankstown. The saga
Mohamed Taha
continues.
Instead of
exposed.
exposing scholars, we'll just expose Mohamed Taha.
You know what? That would be a massive episode.
You know what? Don't expose scholars. Expose
we'll
me.
sit him
Wallah.
down and we'll grill him until he's crying.
100%. You think he doesn't cry every night?
I know, hey, straight out.
Stop it.
Talking about crying, actually, you know, I shed a tear for that video that Kamel did.
How good was it?
Wallahi, you know
How
what?
good was it?
I have a heart of stone. I've been told many times, yeah? But
You know, a lot of people say that about me as well. Like,
You know, you two should go on a date.
we
Brother,
would just,
that's
what do you
your
think
kind
we
of
just
thing.
do? No, I'm kidding.
yeah, we just had coffee this morning.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was referring to.
Talking about you. Yeah, so that video really, like, when he finished, I sat down with Kamel. I go, but how did you make it, man? How could you sit down and make that stuff without stopping every
He's
5 minutes and
dedicated.
going,
Yeah.
He is dedicated, honestly. Like he might be my little brother. Like people say he's older than me, but no, he's not. I'm like exactly a year older. You know what I mean? Like my
How
How about, how
Putting it out there.
how about mentally, Mohsen? That's the most important thing.
mentally, look, I'm older than him, but I'm not afraid to say I look up to him. Honestly, he's a prime example of like what Muslims in general, even youth, should strive to be. You know what I mean? He has his talent, he has his abilities, and he's nailed it very well.
wow, man, that sounds amazing. To be honest, I was there last night. I'm sorry, on Tuesday night. I heard your brother go for it, bro. Mashallah, that was really inspirational.
Up the stage.
He did. Other than the American accent, like put that aside.
Come on, you gotta incorporate that. That's part of him. You know what I mean?
Put that aside.
All
No,
rappers are fake anyway. I'm not saying that. I shouldn't have even said that. Erase.
don't worry. But no, to be honest, it was inspirational. It was really, actually really good. Like the rhymes were good and the flow was good. But I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Straight question, right? We all know that your brother is the megastar of the community. You know, the one Mr. 1 Million. What is it like to be the big brother of that? You know, what is it like to live with that?
You know what? People always. I don't know. I wouldn't say, but I feel like people look as if I'm like, I don't know, like grabbing onto him and just looking up.
Yeah.
You know, looking at him, leeching onto him. But
Yeah.
you know what? I'll probably compare it to, I don't know, Kim and Khloe Kardashian. Right?
Oh, we're going back there.
You know, I don't care. I'm Kim, he's Chloe. Even though, you know, Kim's the one that's all popular and straight out Chloe's, you know, the one. Actually, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't talk down this path because now people will know, you know.
Yeah. Let's just leave it at that and move on. You know, like
That's it. Just don't worry. We're both brothers. I love him and everything. And, you know, I'm always there to help him. I don't care. That's all.
that's a fit. Like that's fit. I mean, like,
Nah.
look, yeah, you know, it's like with me. My brother's a lot smarter than me. You know, he does like this amazing course, mashallah, in New South Wales. And you know, with families, they're always comparing, like, why are you as smart as your brother?
But then
Why are you well
and your brother, when
behaved?
you use it together, it's as if nothing.
Yeah, that's it. It's like nothing.
No way,
There's no difference.
I'll still tell him, hey, get up and give me the remote. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, he's still 1 million. What do you want me to do for you? When he wakes up, I come and give him his coffee and breakfast.
That's what I wanted to hear.
You know what I mean? At home, it's completely different story.
Is he like hardcore at home? Like when he's writing or when he's like preparing a video, is he like fully focused or is he just normal like me and you know?
I tend to come in and out, you know, of his room and stuff. And you know what? He's focused. Like, I'll just come in. I can't even speak to him. I can't even say good morning to him without him looking at me and saying, get out, I'm doing something.
Oh wallah. So he
He's
hardcore.
focused. Like, for example, that whatever you call it, that Jesus video.
Yeah.
Love religion. Sorry, the other way around.
Yeah.
Hate religion, love Jesus.
Yeah.
He was up all night doing it. You know what I mean? And
Wallah.
I always come and check up on him and stuff like that. See how's it going. But yeah, he's focused. When he needs to do something, he is focused.
So does he let you take previews? Like, did you get to see the video
He'll
before?
call me in and ask me how's it going, or when he was like, you know, if he's writing the raps or the rhymes or whatever, he'll come and say, what do you think about this? And I'll say, maybe, you know, put this in or whatever. And when it comes to filming and stuff, I don't really, you know what I mean? I just love to watch him. He knows what he's doing. He does it well.
Wow.
I mean?
Like that's straight out.
It's
That's
like I wouldn't want him to come to me and tell me how to teach. I'll tell him, get out of my face. I'm the teacher here. Same thing with him.
I know, straight out, I take into consideration. I mean, like, at the end of the day, he's an artist and he's doing his art, you know what I mean? And everybody has their own little thing. So it's good to get that insight, but a lot of people will be like, you know, they just be on the outside, they wouldn't understand how he comes up with these things. It's good that you can provide us with that insight, you know, just a normal, average punch bowlian.
I'll get you like the inside gossip.
I think you told me earlier, let's not get into those things. History is history.
That's it, forget about it. Don't worry about it. He's just good at what he does.
Yeah. I want to move off that subject a little bit of your brother,
Please.
because you're an interesting character yourself, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we've had a few, you know, the discussions on the wife factor are pretty legendary. You know, people know about it, people see it, and you're a bit of a character on there, aren't you? Yeah. you've put up a couple of comments that have caused a bit of controversy. You know, stirred the pot.
I get the regular inbox, you know, saying what the hell with those, what's wrong with you? Where's your respect? But then at the same time, I'll get an inbox saying you legend, you creamed and this and that. And it's not like I go on there, you know, to put it on people. I'm just being honest and just point blank. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. I know it's wrong, but then again, it's not wrong. Malcolm X was point blank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was straight to the point. Martin Luther was straight to the point.
Is that like
inspirational figures? And that was still, you know, I'm not saying, you know, I'm comparing myself to him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Are you comparing yourself?
No, you know what? You never know. One day I might be leading, you know, for world peace, this and that.
I can see Mohsen standing out there going, "What do you want? Peace. When do you want it now?" But yeah, like
I'll lead all those on Syria for Australia.
Is that like, you know, when you're commenting, is that like a character you put on, or is that actually you? Like, are you like that in real life?
Bro, you know me. You know
me? I don't know anything.
Say for example, when we go and eat something, if I see you at uni or if we go for a coffee. Honestly, do you see a difference?
To be honest, nah, I don't. But the people that only see your comments, they're gonna think, "Is this guy for real?"
They think I'm a bastard. They
think a lot of things.
They think a lot of things. Like, of course, there's certain people, but then I always have these people that say, you know, good, like that actually are all for what I say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not like I go on there to be controversial. It's just
who you are.
I'm like, okay, you need to be told you're wrong, so I'm going to do that for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But how do you know they're wrong, Mohsen?
Because I'm always right, bro. You know that as well.
Oh, come on.
We got a big ego in here, man.
No. Egos are wrong. Sorry,
nah. We can't.
You know
what? I'm one of the few people that can actually say I'm sorry. You know what I mean? When I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. You know, there's those other people that when they realise they're wrong, they're just going to keep trying to try and
go around in a circle.
Themselves. I'll just say, you know what? I'm sorry. And that's it.
Yeah, no, that's.
But I'm the same person. I am the same person.
Honestly, I will say that I do know you. I know you that if you'll step down and you'll stand up when need be. You know, people have this idea of people that write comments on the Y Factor page, controversial comments like say me or you or whatever. That they just like their characters, like they're just caricatures. They're not real. They're not. There's not a real human being.
Facade.
Yeah, it's a facade. People like. I don't want to say anything about the people on there, but they should believe that there's a human being behind the comments.
That's exactly what I do. I don't, you know, arm myself with a bloody keyboard and go out for that charging. If I see you as well, you know, let's talk. I don't care. It's not like you know, the Y Factor. I'm all about debating on the Y. I don't really go on there anymore. But when something needs to be said, I'll say it. And even if it's on the internet, through that medium, I'll even say it to your face. You want to talk about private, public? I'll tell you about private and public. You know,
no.
Feminism? Please come and talk to me about feminism. Wrong. You know, thank God.
But you know what? It's good what you said, because people look, put it this way: everyone has their opinions. You jump online, you argue your point until death, but you're willing to actually meet up with people. Go for, if it's a brother, obviously go for coffee with him and thrash it out respectfully. Other people aren't willing to do that. They're keyboard heroes or they're internet heroes.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I respect Mohsen. Wallah, like honest opinion, I respect him because he's willing to take it outside of the internet realm.
Take it outside, cuz.
You take it outside, bro.
Take it to the inbox, cuz.
Tell Mondo Bankstown, 7 p.m. Tuesday.
Bankstown again. God. Don't do this, alright?
And then you get the occasional inbox me if you're a man, cuz. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. I prefer to keep that in the back of my mind.
But I generally respect people who do that. I think it's important for people. If you have an opinion, by all means, you're entitled to it. But take it to the next level. Have a discussion face to face.
That's
more
the thing
important.
as well. I think people need to accept the fact that there are other opinions out there. Like a lot of people I've noticed on the Y Factor, I'm not going to name names, you know, but they kind of... No, we're not naming names.
Is this a B section?
I know,
B session?
No.
It's a straight B session.
I know, this is like my rant on the extension. But look, no. What I wanted to say was that there's some people who believe that their opinion is right and that's the end game. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's discussion because it's a discussion. Other people have other opinions. You know what I mean? You have to accept the fact that at the end of the day, there's no such thing as a right opinion, right? Even Islam, don't we have a lot of things that have, you know, mixed opinions, people disagree,
diversity of
scholars,
opinion, yeah.
Exactly, right? That means that nobody is specifically 100% right, and it's not a bad thing to accept that.
But you'll find people that will what's the English word?
Like they get stuck.
Like they just get stubborn. They cling on to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Say, no, this is it. This is why it is. You know, I'm the type of like, okay, I'll come into a post or whatever, I'll drop a massive bomb, and then I'll just leave and let everyone just go into, you know what I mean?
So you cause the chaos.
If something needs to be said, I'll just say it. But
so that's your strategy.
Someone's going to be like, there's been issues, you know, where people are going to say, no, this sheikh, this and that, or whatever. I don't even go into the religious topics, for example, but he says this, he says that. who are you? You know what I mean? I don't care what
Exactly.
you have to
That's
say.
one of our policies. Don't
That's right,
speak
that's
about
right.
Islamic stuff on our site.
And you made
like
that very
fiqh
clear.
and sharia.
It makes sense. You know, I've probably been the type in the past where I say, you know what, we should be able to talk about Islamic discussion. Okay, let's talk Islamically. you know. But if you're going to come onto here and say, page 17 of this book, chapter 2, by Sheikh this and that, brother, you didn't read this book. Neither do you know it. Neither do you have it in your possession. You went onto Google.com and then you pasted it there. Don't try and teach me.
Google Books.
Don't try and teach me.
Google shuyukh.
Yeah,
Simple
Google.
as
Modern
that.
day scholar.
I'll drop my opinions and that's it. You know, accept and leave them.
But we're just trying to push for.
But I am a nice guy. People take it as if I'm not. Like, you know what I mean?
It's good that you're
As
pointing
if
that
I'm
out.
Like, I've had people like even on they come up to me on Facebook or Twitter or even up to me in person like, oh my god, you're actually a nice person.
Yeah, I get that. I get that a lot actually on Facebook.
You know why? Because when you post a comment, there's no like
no humanity
expression.
behind it. It's
I think the humanity comes in expression, and you can't really tell from a post. Aside if you put an emoticon like with a tongue sticking out of the smiley face.
That can be like sarcastic.
That can be sarcasm. So you don't really know. You don't really know.
That's the thing. That's what we're trying to put.
But that's not a reason. That's not a reason. People say that as well. People say that. Okay, look, Facebook bad things happen. Twitter bad things happen. People don't really understand you. Okay, people might take things wrongly. They take it in the wrong context. But that's not to say that you should just stop using it completely. I reckon that's just a stupid argument. Look at the potential of social media. Look at the amount of discussions. You know what?
I mean, your own brothers used it. Your own brothers used it.
Look, bloody
Straight
million
up.
views non-stop, left, right, and center. You know,
It went viral
Or
on
things like-
Facebook and Twitter.
Even if it's not that kind of stuff, even if it's like something like using Facebook to raise awareness, whether it be for orphans or whether it be for Palestine or whether it be for Syria, for example, that event, do you think it would have been as successful if it wasn't?
Absolutely not. And
Absolutely
they did not make flyers. No flyers were made. It was all Facebook.
I think that's the first time they've gone flyerless.
And that's a good,
Isn't it?
you know
It
what?
is,
I don't
it is.
remember seeing any flyers about
No,
that.
there's no
And
flyers.
how good was
flyers.
it? How good was it?
Mashallah,
And it was,
I loved it, bro.
potentially full. It was almost like 90%
It's a new
full.
e-flyer at Facebook. Wallah, it is. Like, you don't need to print it. Why are you going to fork out some money to print
I
out
actually think
flyers?
that I think the future is flyerless. You know, no flyers.
And we're all
Just
for
promote
social media on this show. So
Yeah, and,
well said.
and it
Mohsen.
was really pumped up on social media. I got like 10 inboxes about it.
People got issues with social media. Okay, people say look at the positive and look at the negatives, but the positives are there and just use them. If you know,
Exactly.
what, even opinions. People say, "Oh, it has no room of opinions." What do you mean it has no rooms of opinion? You know what I mean?
It's a melting pot, man.
I
Everyone's on
learn
there.
from people.
Everyone's
I
on
learn
there.
from people.
Exactly.
Just checking and someone putting like a nice quote or something.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, it means to me. But now, to be honest, on Facebook, quotes are just left, right, and center. I don't think people have really tied.
They've lost their meaning.
You know what I mean? It's just like, it's like when you read something good, if you read, you know, a quote in the newspaper or in some kind of Islamic book, or you read a hadith, you read it, instead of reflecting and pondering,
Reflecting.
you just look, that will make a good status.
Yeah.
And you just go put it up. And you don't even take
Wallah,
Wallahi, that's so true.
I'm going to confess, I do that sometimes.
We know you do that. I like
Sometimes.
As well, now I'm trying to slowly stop, but, you know, I'm not saying, you know, I reflect on anything, but, you know what?
Yeah.
It's
I mean, like, but look, Shaykh Hussein brought this up on the night as well. He said that, you know, Facebook has positives and it has negatives, right?
And he made it very clear that he's against the deliberate misuse of Facebook.
That's right. That's right. That's something that
I think
we
maybe he
in the
needs to go into detail about that.
Yeah.
You know, can I just put a point on Sheikh Wissam? What was
Chikawi, yeah.
Chikawi. Okay, when I was promoting the event, like on my Facebook and stuff like that, and telling people to come, I'd only tell them my brother Kamal's going to be there, and I'll tell them Bin Mohamed. I didn't really know about this Sheikh Chikawi or whatever. He needs to be in the spotlight. Like, I put a status before and I was talking about the 4 things that I learned, you know what I mean? But one thing that I learned on that night is that Sheikh Wissam needs to be in the spotlight. He has the potential to fix the youth. You know what I mean?
Wallah, he does.
A lot of us,
I truly believe that.
That's a big call,
We
right?
have a lot of people that say, for example, in our circles, you know, me or you, whatever, they'll come and say, man, people are closed-minded, they're stubborn, it's their way or the highway. He's the kind of personality that will fix it. I loved what he was saying. Even my mum was there, of course, you know, she's a big fan of my brother, and she goes, you know what, I love that Sheikh. I love that. I've never seen him before in my life. He needs to be, any event that if I'm gonna be part of you, bring him, man. Bring Sheikh Wissam, because he was amazing. And how well spoken is he?
Wallah.
You know what? I love all the religious figures. I love all the religious leaders. But one thing I believe we need more of is intellectuals. Intellectuals who are taking these Islamic positions. Okay, you know, we have Muslims with the brains that are going and becoming engineers, that are going and becoming doctors.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with an intellectual becoming
I've actually
becoming a religious figure, because look at him and he has so many potential. May Allah reward him. And you know what? May many events be blessed with his presence.
Mashallah. You know, it goes beyond what you saw, because I've had personal discussion with him about physics-based evidence of the start of the world and things like that. You know, like really complicated complicated
Philosophical questions.
philosophical concepts, yeah. And you think sometimes with some people it goes beyond over their heads, you know. And he goes to me, he was intense. He was like, no, what are you talking about? Sit down, let's talk about it. And he went into these things. I was like, whoa.
I love that, bro.
Yeah.
I
Man,
love that.
it was
I love that.
Like it was overwhelming. The amount of knowledge, mashallah, he has hidden behind, like, you know, the average talk that he talks with the boys, this and that. But when you sit down and you grill him, wow.
Yeah.
Mashallah.
He's the sort of guy who can go, you can go to a restaurant with and have a laugh, or you can go to one of the boys' house in the garage and have a serious, like, philosophical discussion and
like,
debate.
straight out, if I could,
He's that flexible, mashallah. He's that flexible.
Mashallah.
One thing as well, since we're all giving him a rap, I love how he touches on taboo topics, and I think you're talking about religious figures. One thing they don't really do is talk about taboo topics, like pornography, like
Second time you mention it, but go on.
no, but seriously, like he said, it's a disease. I think the stats are 7 out of 10 15-year-olds have watched porn.
Yeah.
Like
That Secret Life of Us did a good job.
Wallah, there should be more of that. Because what are we going to sit there and say? Oh, my son or daughter is innocent. You know, they don't do anything behind closed doors. It's rubbish.
Like it's something that needs to be dealt with. And it needs to be dealt with as soon as possible because of the growth of the internet and the infiltration with these kind of programs and whatever else they got, the websites or whatever. It's growing. You know, it's getting bigger. It's not getting smaller. The problem is growing. It's and nobody's dealing with it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? In Friday Pray, you go to Friday Pray. When was the last time someone did a Friday Pray about that? About the internet?
It will be awkward, but you know
It'll be
what?
awkward, but it has to be done.
Sister Hanan Dover, she's mentioned that as well about taboo's topic. May Allah reward.
Yeah.
She's a straight shooter as well. I respect that lady so much. You know what I mean? She's the type as well that I say we need to talk about these taboo topics.
Yeah. And we do. No, I seriously
That's
think
right. She says that on the Facebook page.
That video that it's probably went viral on Facebook on YouTube of that Moroccan man standing up in the audience addressing the sheikh saying, "I've done this. I'm 25 years old and I've just started praying." You know what I mean? Why is he in this position? Because he's doing things that are taboo that the sheikhs won't even talk about.
They won't talk about.
So we need more people to talk about this stuff. Okay, we're going to admit it straight up. Pornography is an issue. You know, the sexualization of society is a massive issue.
Absolutely.
How many? We go to uni, right? On our MSAs, we're talking about so much stuff. You know, this is something that I'm extremely outspoken about, and I put my foot down. We have talks about, I don't know, like, about the society we live in, you know, capitalism. I don't know what. Democracy. We need to stand up for democracy. This and that, miracles of this and that. MashaAllah, well, good on you guys, okay? It's really good, you know what I mean? But we're on a Muslim, we're supposed to represent the Muslims on campus, right?
Right.
The Muslims on campus are drinking. I see it all the time. The Muslims on campus having extramarital relations, they're having girlfriends, boyfriends. Sometimes when I go fishing or whatever, I need to drive through certain parts of the I need to drive through certain parts of the city, okay? And there are Muslims everywhere. Let's address these issues. You know why don't they want to talk about it? Because it's taboo. Oh, we don't want to talk about Muslims going clubbing. We don't want to talk about Muslims drinking.
It's a reality.
We don't want to talk about Muslims having girlfriends. You know what I mean?
You're alienating them. You know, there's potential for them to come back, and you're alienating them.
If you're not going to address the issue, they're just going to be. What's the voice going to be going in? Which voice is going to go inside their head saying you need to stop doing it? You need to stop doing it.
That's right.
There's no one. Why? Because the sheikh is saying it.
That's right.
That's why we have people like Sheikh Wissam Chirka, and there are many others.
Yeah,
I'm not going to discredit it.
Yeah.
But let's implement his kind of way, his kind of approach into our universities as well. You know what I mean?
I think it's a good idea.
Even homosexuality is such a. You'd be surprised how many homosexual Muslims there are.
We can talk about further, feminism and things like that you brought up earlier. There's a lot of issues that nobody deals with, but it's central to the society we live in.
Like I would be honest. Like you mentioned, you dropped on homosexuality. Like I think I've mentioned to you before. Like to me, originally. I work at a place, right? I don't want to say anywhere because I work at like 2 different places.
Yeah.
But whatever. Like I worked with a homosexual once, and the first time I saw him, I went to go shake his hand, and he shook it like a girl. You know what I mean? And I just ripped my hand away, and I just looked at him, and he goes, you know, whatever, blah blah blah. And I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna stay away from this bloke. But that's wrong.
That's wrong.
This. Okay, again, it's a taboo topic, but this exists in society. I'm at work. I'm praying and stuff. Do I want his negative emotions or his negative perception of me to breach onto Islam?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
We need to fix that up.
Absolutely.
We need to, and these things are like core to modern society. Do you know what I mean? Like they're things that we're just ignoring. We're throwing away. One of the problems I've brought up with Mohamed a lot, and I actually brought up with Shaykh Wissam beforehand, was the problem of atheism. It's permeating society. You know, it's something that we need to deal with.
You know what? We covered a lot of topics today. Mohsen, in 10 seconds, give a final message to the Muslim youth out there about something.
What?
Just be a straight shooter.
Is my voice like that?
Yeah.
Virtual or something. Am I some kind of big star?
You have to. You
Am
have
I gonna walk out of his
to.
studio
I'm looking for that one liner. That one liner.
Okay, so what?
That one liner of a life quote. I don't know, something.
I don't
Wow.
know. To the people
Go.
that hate me, I love you, and to the people that love me, I love you more.
That's it.
Allahu Akbar. Takbir.
How
Allahu
good is that?
Akbar.
You know what? Positivity.
Yeah.
Big positive smile.
We loved having you on there.
You know what? I love this show. You know what? I actually do love this show. and I love
You know what? We might extend the interview now.
Let's just let it go for a little bit longer.
No, I'm being serious. You know what? Like what we just talked about was really good, and I actually, it was beneficial, man. Honestly, let anyone talk about Y Factor.
Easy. I think
Inbox me if you're.
you've broken the desk. You've broken the desk. You've broken the speakers and the mics, Mohsen. Honestly, Jazakallah khairan for your time. Wallah,
Thank you
we
very
love
much.
you. You're an
We
active
love
member
you.
on the. You're a great supporter. You're an active member on the online, and keep it up, man.
Yeah,
we love
look
you. We
forward
love your
to
approach.
hearing your comments on the Y Factor page, inshallah.
And you can take us out to the break as well. So say we're going to the Y. This is Y Factor. Listen to 87.6 FM, and then we go to a break. So go. In 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the Y Factor.
You're listening to the Y Factor on 87.6 FM.
Hey Jamal, where can you get the best steak and ribs?
At Flames.
Have they got any deals on?
Yeah, mate. Specials on Thursdays, pizza and pastas, only $10.
$10?
Yeah, $10. $10. $10. And 20% off everything else.
Only on Thursdays and Sundays.
Where at?
At Flames.
396 Beamish Street, Campsie.
Be there.
It's Mohamed from the Y Factor here. With me, I have Shaykh Naeem Abdul Wali from Houston, Texas. He studied in Turkey, in Medina. And yeah, assalamu alaikum, Shaykh, and welcome to the program.
Alaikum salam. Alaikum salam. I'm a serious Muslim.
Shaykh, how are you enjoying your trip to Australia thus far?
It's exciting.
Just exciting?
It's exciting and more exciting in every moment. Being with you is exciting.
Inshallah, I sound very enthusiastic. On a serious...
You have to be if you're in Australia.
You're in a Turkish restaurant right now.
Yes, we are.
Is this something that resonates with you?
Yes, it reminds me my wife has better home cooking. Because she's Turkish.
Okay, we're not at Mara Cafe in Auburn.
Now you had to tell them. They're going to lose business now.
On a serious note, Sheikh, mashallah, you've travelled around the world, you've got an abundance of experience. What areas of study or knowledge would you encourage Muslims to delve into, or we need to emphasize on?
Bismillah. Well, obviously, I think every Muslim needs to know Arabic. I don't think you can engage with the Quran, stand in prayer 5 times a day, open the book up, and not know what God's saying to you. It's like being married to a wife, a mail-order bride, if you don't know Arabic. So everyone needs to know Arabic. I think it should be like a law. It's a convert requirement. You can't convert. Like when I was in Turkey, I was told by a Turk, you can't be a Muslim until you become a Turk first. So I think you have to be like a requirement, the Shahada, and then an online Arabic language course certificate program, and you can become a good Muslim. Because how can you read Quran and not know what God's saying to you if you don't know what God's saying to you in the language that it was said? And so when I converted years ago, one of the first things I tried to do was learn Arabic, and that was what took me outside of to leave the States was to try to learn Arabic. Unfortunately for me, I learned Arabic from Turks, so I got Turkish and Arabic in the deal. So yeah, so Arabic. And after that, seriously, people have to have sound beliefs and sound fiqh so that they're, just their faith on just a formal level is they know what God is and what God isn't, etc. And then they know how to stay within sacred parameters by fiqh, how to live their lives in a sacred zone, so to say, yeah.
So very clear from that answer that Arabic is a matter of primacy, right?
Well, it's like ABCs. If you want to learn to read a book, you need to learn the alphabet. So I think everyone should know Alif, Ba, Ta, and know what. Yeah, it's definitely.
And obviously, as a Muslim minority living in a non-Muslim country, it's a no-brainer really. We need to engage with the non-Muslim populace. But would you, encourage the layman Muslim to make an extra effort to engage in all aspects of society?
I think that if you're a Muslim, just anywhere in the world, you have to know what it means for yourself to be who you are, And so my personal assessment after many years, what it means for me to be a Muslim, is that I'm an inheritor of prophetic tradition. I'm an inheritor of a prophetic trust. A trust, a sacred gift has been transmitted through generations that's come to my hands. It's knowledge, experience, hope, and expectation. It's like Gabriel came and he gave, Islam. The deen was 4 things. So there was sacred ritual and bodily movements. That's Islam. There's a knowledge of the larger reality, which is God, angels, prophets, and you are meshed, and I use the word matrix within that large reality. It's experience of God, if you see Him. So you have to have that, and then it's the expectation of the Day of Judgment through the signs that we're told to look for. So the deen then, for me, is that for a Muslim to see his or herself, and from a proof of that is that you are a transmitter and a prophet, so something baligh anni wala ayat, that take from me, convey from me, but if but an ayat. What does it mean? If but something, a sign of sacredness. If the ayat is the verse of Quran, what you're transmitting is something of divinity to people, a sign of God. So if you're wherever you are, and particularly if you're in this, in a Western context where you're in the dominant culture, you are like a prophet of old standing in the forum of Rome, and you have to stand there as a prophet would stand in that type of a empire against the materialism and the vulgarity, whether it's the vulgarity of the commonality of it or the vulgarity of the cruelty of it, and you stand there as a prophetic inheritor. So I think that every Muslim must see his or herself as a sacred bearer, and if you don't, then you're just another Muslim out there shopping and buying kebabs and eating halal, and that's how you define your mediocre Islam. Because you become mediocre, common. You're vulgar in the Latin meaning. And you're not special because you don't see yourself as a sacred carrier, a messenger, a Na'ib al-Rasul, a representative of the Prophet ﷺ. So I see it that way. So if you're in the West, that's what you got to be. You got to be this person who delves into divinity, delves into God, seeks the prophetic way, and you see yourself as this person who stands out there amongst the people, and you want to image to people. You want to show a form of something of prophetic perfections, so they can see a human being. Because a lot of us don't know what it means to be a human being. You go out there and ask a Muslim after Jummah prayer, what does it mean to be a human being? They won't tell you. You stand after Jummah prayer, like Hizbul Tahrir, and I'll say it like that, and hand out a flyer. The flyer is, what does it mean to be a human being? And you ask them, no one will tell you. I don't know what it means to be a human being. Then what are you doing here? If you know what it means to be a human being. What's a heart? Oh, it's a morsel of flesh in my chest. Ah, okay. These deep things, we don't think about anymore. And if you're in the West and you're a university student, you go to university and you're sitting in a philosophy class or something, any class, it's challenging, it's deep. Then why are we so shallow as Muslims? So I think we need to up the ante. We are challenged by a global civilization that's never been like it in the world. And I'm from the heart of the beast, in a sense. When I'm in Texas, and I'm in the red state of Texas, unless I'm in San Antonio, which is actually blue, Democratic. But not San Antonio, but Austin. But if I'm in Texas, I tell myself that. When I got off that plane from Turkey to come back to America, I was with the mission that I'm here only because of a prophetic trust, not for anything else. If I want to be comfortable, I stayed in Turkey and lived in a Muslim ghetto there with a bunch of bearded men, turbans, and women with black veils. And I would have been happy. It was fun. It was safe. It was secure. But I would have been betrayed my responsibility to convey something to other people. So I think that's what we have to be able to do. Okay, that's for question number 1. Next one.
Okay, we're going to jump to some light-hearted questions.
Wow, thank God. Those are the important ones. That's where you learn through humor.
Since we're on that note, you stated earlier that you can be serious but have fun too. It sounds a bit like an oxymoron. What do you mean by that?
It's only an oxymoron for oxymorons. You're laughing, you see? No, I always say people... I was with Abdul Murad once, and he was like... talking about how Muslims around the world, they're so infantile in a way. And that's what I said in the talk that I had this evening. Just go and Google, just Google image, angry Muslim. It's that first image of the screaming guy in Pakistan, who's just screaming at the camera. That's Islam. That's people's impression of a Muslim around the world. Or it's a man who walks into a Jewish school and kills people. This is our legacy. No matter how many good deeds we do, that's our legacy, because that's what people are associating us with globally. We know it's not right. But unfortunately, things aren't where we want it to be. People are making, so and my nature is to be jovial. And the Prophet smiled. He had a prophetic smile, a paradisial smile, which wasn't excessive because he was moderate in everything he did. But there were companions around him who did pranks, and they were people, and they weren't uptight, like so many of us righteously, how many righteous Muslims who are like gung-ho, bearded, hijabi people who are so uptight, like they're constantly constipated. They need a laxative, and it's very sad. And I have my faults. I don't think my humor is a fault. I can use my humor. I was in Turkey with my turban and my traditional clothes. And in Turkey, if a person saw you like that, they would like, you're a hoja, and you're backward, you're a girici, you're a recidivist. And I remember I talked to people, Turks, and they were shocked that someone could have a turban and a jubba and smile and make them feel comfortable. And you have to do that. And I can be, people who know me, I can be dead serious. I can make you weep if I want to. I can make you weep. I could take a verse of the Quran and I can spin it on you, and I can spin a heavy story of a message of the Quran or from the Hadith, and I can put you on your knees if I want to. It's not hard to do. And make you feel so bad. And maybe sometimes you need that. But also sometimes people need to be lifted up and felt good, because we're living in a time where we carry a lot of burdens and we carry a lot of heaviness. And we see a lot of discord in the Muslim community, and there's a lot of sectarianism. And you have it here in Sydney, and people are confused. And maybe a part of our Western culture is to take solace in levity. And so I think that I can do that too. It's in my nature, but in a good way, And I do it more sarcastically. I turn things on people so they really sort of see, I think, sort of the funny side of their own folly and of their Islam, when they fall into the folly of being when you're in, how would I say it? You are in ghurur at the moment, the deception of the moment, and you can do that through humor, because sometimes it's easy to give that bitter pill a little bit of honey and sugar, and that's the smile and the joke. Okay, next question.
Is that what you're doing to me now?
Well, you've laughed a lot. I don't know. Well, are you comfortable?
Very comfortable.
Yeah? Yeah? It must have been that thing you were eating there.
I'm eating razab halib. What's it called in English? A rice pudding. Sutlaj.
Sutlaj, right? Yeah.
Okay, we're going to play a little game. It's called
Tic-tac-toe. I will beat you. I'm an X.
It's called 10 questions in 60 seconds, okay?
Oh, please. Okay.
It has to be short and snappy. So first question, your favourite place you've travelled to and why?
Mecca, because God's house is there.
The greatest piece of advice you've ever been told?
Oh my goodness. I was going to say don't eat yellow snow, but that's so crude. Go ahead, go on. Number 3.
Your favourite verse from the Quran?
Yuhibbuhum yuhibbunahu. That he loves them and they love him. That God's love comes before your love.
And your favourite hadith of all time?
It's difficult to say. I don't know. It's hard to say. There are too many of them.
Your funniest joke you've ever heard?
Oh, it was a joke, a Pope joke. So the Pope, it's like he goes to heaven, and then he's in heaven and he's reading the original Bible. So it's like a Ahmadiyya kind of joke, and he's like reading the Bible, and then he says, See, I'm forgetting the punchline. See, it's 60 seconds. There's a letter missing, and he's like reading it, and it's like, they left out. He sits there for like 1,000 years reading the Bible, and he starts screaming. He said, "They left out an R. They left out an R. It wasn't celibate. It was celebrate." Da-dun-dun. Bring in the jalad. Cut off his head. Okay.
Okay, your favorite food of all time?
Favorite food of all time? My wife's cooking.
Is she here?
No, but she should know I like her food a lot. She's the best cook I've ever. Oh, my mom's fried chicken is good too. Back in Tennessee, I love it. Next.
Okay, have you tried Vegemite?
Yes, I tried Vegemite. It was salty, moldy. I hear it's good for you.
Would you recommend it to other people?
It can stay in the southern hemisphere. It's fine.
Okay. Your favorite culture from all your travels and why?
Well, I mean, I guess I was being in Turkey because I learned how to be with more adab in Turkey. You can't believe it tonight, but I learned how to have more adab in Turkey. Turks have a lot of adab. Not all of them. I've met some rough people there. But I liked it. I love Turkey, mashallah.
Okay, a historical role model, like, with the exception of the Prophet and the companions.
Oh, man. Well, it would be my Sheikh Mahmoud Effendi in Turkey. Yes. That's it.
And a contemporary role model?
Sheikh Mahmoud Effendi.
Is he alive?
Yes, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And finally, this is a drum roll, Karim.
Oh, if you want to,
who would you invite to a barbecue and why?
What are you pointing at? Your name? I would invite the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Census 100 years, 1911 to 2011. That's what he's pointing to. It's a lot of people to a barbecue. It's like 23 million of you. I'm sorry, I don't do it. Couldn't afford it.
Okay, narrow it down to one person.
Oh, to a barbecue? Any person alive or dead? I don't want to bring a corpse to a barbecue. Someone alive.
Invite us.
Huh?
Invite us.
No, I'm not going to invite last year's Rifla people. Ooh. Like, is it tonight, the barbecue?
Hypothetically, like tomorrow.
But he's a Muslim. Look, your brother, you're deceived. You don't know if there's a tomorrow for you. You may die tonight. We should go now. I'll tell you the 6 points.
1 minute's up. That's it.
Yeah, I think it's been about 10 minutes.
Time has been dilated for us.
Final question, what would be your advice, very generic advice or specific to the Muslim youth of Sydney?
Stop getting tattoos. Stop wearing tight jeans. Don't think that just because you lift weight behind the masjid, it's going to make you a better person. Quit being so narcissistic. Get over your divisions. And you live in a culture that is, I think, very sort of like laid back, and and it sort of has the larger context of the religious. People are rather a-religious, like British people. Not like people in the United States are oftentimes very religious. It's a very religious Western country, probably the most religious Western country. God help us. Don't get caught up in that. Maintain your theism. Be faithful people of God, and inshallah, and work together. Get over your problems. But seriously, don't get caught up in just in your bodies. Because like me, if you're 47, it will eventually decay. I'm serious, because that's the big trap, deception. Youth is very deceiving, and you're a young man, You don't think about really your death probably too much because you're young. Young people don't think about death immediately. But you really have to go out and visit the big cemetery, visit, walk, spend time with the dead, think about where you're going to be at one day, and it'll get you sort of focused. Because if Sayyidina Ali can be 10 years old and accept his cousin as a prophet of God and be transformed for eternity, an 18-year-old in Sydney can too. That's what I believe. So that's it.
Jazakallah khairan for your time.
Welcome. That'll be $5. Australian currency, because the US dollar is dropped. So.
Thank you very much, Sheikh.
And with that, listeners, I need to wrap up today's episode. Those were two fantastic guests and two fantastic interviews. Just in terms of events coming up, you have the Mission of Hope Villawood Detention Centre Outreach Program. Program aims to establish friendships with people and would really appreciate visits from Muslims from the outside world to the Villawood Detention Centre. Now, this is a fantastic initiative, and I advise all people to join up and check it out. It is on Facebook on Saturday at 1 p.m. Check out all the details, as I said, on Facebook. So you have been listening to The Y Factor on 87.6 FM. Please sound off on our page on any of the issues that you heard on the episode. We hope to hear from you soon, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أيها المبعوث فينا جئت بالأمر المطاع جئت شرفت المدينة